Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today we're going to dive into protesters rally against Trump in dozens of cities across the U.S. and worldwide. So to all the people that, been in my comments like U.S. just, they haven't been doing anything. I told y'all, man, like just give things time, see how everything unfolds. I know people feeling like, well, we don't have time. Just don't underestimate, right? Don't underestimate. Don't do that. But yeah, today I actually had somebody comment and say something about basically like, they could leave politics to the politicians, and even though that's usually how I would think, but right now I just feel like it's an important time to pay attention to what is going on in politics because there's so much major changes. So yeah, with that being said, what's smoking on my dragons? Divine Righteous, Almighty, Great, Overachieving, Never Slacking. Original link in the description if I didn't say that already, and let's get to it. Here we go.
Now, today marks the start of U.S. President's widest-ranging tariffs. At midnight, a 10% baseline levy kicked in, hitting virtually all U.S. trading partners and sparing only Canada and Mexico, at least for now. The tariffs could trigger retaliation from all corners of the world and plunge a flailing global economy into further turmoil. Financial markets around the world have already taken a hit, with U.S. stocks seeing their biggest drop in over 5 years after Trump's Wednesday announcement.
In over 5 years. Wow. So since 2020. Okay. All right.
Meanwhile, Tesla CEO and Trump advisor Elon Musk says he hopes Europe and the United States can eventually establish a free trade zone.
I'm hopeful, for example, with the tariffs, that at the end of the day, I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation.
Musk appeared virtually at a Congress of a right-wing Italian.
So he wants zero tariffs for Europe, but Canada, it's all good. It's like, I don't know, like it's just weird, and the people are starting to see now. Like it's just weird with the whole Elon stuff, and I've been saying that from the beginning. It's just something so off about that. It's giving Black Mirror. If you guys ever seen the TV show Black Mirror, then you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's giving a Black Mirror world. That's what it's feeling like. It's feeling like this is a little deeper than what meets the eye with a lot of things. And yeah, it's something's off. Something is off, and I do believe that things will get exposed more and more. I feel like things will get exposed, and yeah, I'm just, hey, here we are. There was a lot of people that was on my page, on my channel, the last I say 2 weeks, just coming at Americans, saying Americans ain't gonna do it. And I said, just hold on, just wait, hold your horses.
Musk appeared virtually at a Congress of a right-wing Italian party, and the comments come after Trump announced a 20% tariff on goods from the European Union. The tech billionaire also said he hopes for greater freedom of movement between Europe and the U.S. Meantime, protests against Donald Trump's tariffs are being held around the world this weekend. This is what it looked like in Washington, where demonstrators were gathering at the National Mall. They're expressing frustration around a number of issues, including government cuts, the economy, and human rights. Many are carrying signs with slogans such as "We the People" and "Hands Off." And many similar rallies are planned across all 50 states, including in Tampa, Florida. Journalist Steve Futterman joins us now from there. Steve, what can you tell us about the nationwide protests and what is a very loud protest there behind you in Florida?
Well, Chris, you can hear it's very loud and enthusiastic here. I'd say a couple thousand people are here, and you hear the horns honking as people drive by. The protesters behind me is City Hall. That's where this gathering is located. But you have people with all different signs. A woman to my left has a sign that says "Democracy, not dictatorship." Another sign says hands off our democracy. These are anti-Trump people, and obviously they're amped up by some of the issues the last couple of weeks, the Signal controversy, when they controversy involving classified material being shown to a journalist, and then, of course, the stock market cratering a bit this past week with the tariffs. So there are many different issues. People are here protesting. Now, this is just one of really hundreds of protests, some very large, some moderate, and then some small. There have been really huge crowds today in Boston. You mentioned Washington. Also, hope you can still hear me with all the yelling going on. Also in New York. But again, these are people who have been longtime Trump opponents. They've been somewhat silent since he was elected. We didn't hear the massive protests we saw when he was elected.
There's actually a lot of people that was MAGA, that was previously MAGA out there too. I seen that trending on TikTok. With a lot of people that previously was MAGA that have dropped out of that pretty much and feel a lot of regret, and they were out there. They were out there. Maybe we'll find one of those videos real quick.
In 2016, but this is the first really large nationwide protest we have seen throughout the nation since Trump was elected last November.
Yeah, and Steve, some of them, like the one that you're at there, are certainly quite large. And don't worry, I can hear you fine. I did have to turn down the volume in my earpiece here because it's very loud where you are, but we can still hear you. So I'd like to know more about what these demonstrators are actually hoping to accomplish by all these protests.
Well, listen, they want what they're saying to be heard by other people. Some of this is to get the publicity out. They like when people like us report this story. They feel that the message going out shows other people that might be sympathetic to their cause that, yes, there is a way to oppose Donald Trump. And they also want the Trump people to see that there's growing opposition. Now, the past week or so, we have heard even some moderate Republicans really strongly criticizing Trump for his tariff policies. These are often conservative businessmen who just feel tariffs are the wrong thing, and they feel that Donald Trump has just been ignoring sound advice from long-time successful economists.
Where it could really turn on Trump is where if a lot of conservatives start feeling like, okay, you only care about the rich. That's all you care about, and you're bought out by the rich. Then.
So if they can get the message out, they feel this builds some momentum. Now, where it goes from here, we just don't know. But again, this is the start. And of course, they are looking towards elections. There are some special elections that will be held this year, and we're only a year away from the midterms. And this is part of the buildup that they hope will maybe turn the House in the Democrats' favor in 2026, maybe even the Senate. So it's a long, long road. This is just the beginning for the Trump opponents.
All right, Steve, always great to see you. Thank you so much. That is journalist Steve Futterman in Tampa, Florida. And I'm Chris Glover. You're watching CBC News Network.
So what scared a lot of people too was, y'all gotta understand, the whole Elon Nazi Germany vibes. That frightened a lot of people. That made a lot of people very concerned, and from day one. So I think that put a bad taste. Like I said, it's this tech billionaire stuff is crazy. Like. But we're gonna get into another one. We're gonna get into one a little more recent. Stuff is happening every second though. It's been a wild 2025 so far. We're already 25% in, and yeah, people got a lot to say right now. I'm actually there's so many videos. It's like, where do I even? Okay, let me pick this one. Hold on, like this one now. Hold on. There's so many right now. Okay, I'm gonna choose this one real quick. We're gonna keep this we're gonna keep the ball rolling here. And for those that feel like, keep the politics to the politicians, like I said, I understand, trust me. I mean, you can look at majority of my content and see that I'm mainly music and travel, but when things are important, things are important. I am a variety channel. I do hop into everything, so there's always something to choose. It's not like you have to watch the politics or what's going on in the world, but I like to tune in every now and then. especially when it's historical.
I mean, the things that he's doing is not trying to make America better. He's ruining our infrastructure, every department in our government. He's ruining, and he's right now destroying our economy. He's taken away all of our allies. We're a pariah in the world.
It's crazy because I can hear so many people disagree with that right now. You know, I could say, I guarantee I could go on TikTok right now. If I go to the back side of TikTok, they're gonna be joking very hardly. That it's it's wild. I mean, there's a lot of elderly out there right now, and I got a lot of respect for the elderly, obviously, but it's like even talking to one of my clients, and she was talking about geopolitics and showing me this magazine from way back, like not Nazi Germany, and she was just basically telling me like that's the vibe she gets. It reminds her of, she's in her 70s, so this reminds her of that time, and I just feel like when I see a lot of elderly out there, it's because y'all also got to remember they grew up in a different time than we did. For us millennials and younger, even a generation ahead of me, even if whether you're MAGA or not, I just ask everybody to have respect for the elderly because they grew up in a different time. They grew up in a time where they may have had to have drills where they had to get under the desk, because of certain, like certain things are, I don't want to say as far as PTSD, even though that's a possibility too, but certain things are frightening, certain things are triggering, and like I said earlier, Elon Musk with that, even though, I don't want to get into the controversial, you know, with Nazi salute stuff. But it was sus. I will say that from my personal opinion, I feel like certain things it was a little suspect. It was a little suspect. Yeah, we could say it was the such and such for love or whatever, but then when you look at the background and you see, who supports who and who's involved with what, and you do your own, certain research, then you're like, a little sus. So to see when we see our elderly out there marching, then I think us younger folks might want to pay a little attention to the elderly. We might want to, because you're not going to sit here and tell me that every single one of these millions of elderly that's out there marching is wrong. You just can't. That's going to be very, very hard for you to convince me that every single one of our elders, the millions of, that every single one is delusional. Every single one is wrong. Every single one just is some, crazy liberal who just, no, you just can't convince me. Not everybody can be wrong, especially our elders. So hopefully, if somebody who's listening to this, is a little more open minded and can really hear what I'm saying here.
This is what beauty looks like.
And research has demonstrated that for hands off. Our research. Hands off. Our science.
I like that hands off our research and hands off our science, because just with the whole, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into it, but with the whole chipping people stuff, the whole, it's just certain stuff going on that, with the tech billionaires, where it's just kind of like, I'm not really liking that too much. I even heard of something about some chip where people could get some chip prisoners where they could get out of prison, and this chip's supposed to make them more empathetic and make them feel the, feel sympathy and feel what their victims felt. Like, whoa, no, like I said, that's Black Mirror. That's, that, like I said, go check out that TV show if you haven't seen it. I think it might be on, it's in Netflix, Hulu, one of those, easy to find. But That's giving Black Mirror. So, that I do agree with when it comes to hands off of the research and the science and dang, it's going down out there. It's going down. Major nationwide protests erupt. It's whew, to see the elders come out like that though. That's what's got me like, woo! It's not a game out there, guys. I'm actually. What was I about to search? I was about to search. Okay. Oh yeah, New York. Okay, let's see. New York. What we looking like in New York? I did see some videos in New York, but on TikTok. But yeah, mainly DC, LA, NY. I mean, they're out there. They're out there. Crazy, crazy stuff. I mean, I do wonder what the effects of this is going to be. Obviously, there's going to be major backlash from people from the opposing views, but people with opposing views going to feel some type of way. But it is what it is. Like everybody, this is supposed to be land of the free. This is supposed to be. We're supposed to have that freedom of speech, and I just feel like we be too busy fighting, like literally, like just putting each other in a box and oh you're just the enemy and that's not really the case. Everybody's different, everybody thinks different. Now when it comes to protecting children, when it comes to just everybody having a right to protect themselves, I'm all for that. Like obviously it's just certain things where it's like I'm not going to go against anything that I feel is morally wrong, right? But for example, I'm with the, okay, I'm not mad at the men and women. I'm not mad at that, right? It's just, I'm not mad at that. Right? Certain things I'm not mad at, but, I am a little definitely annoyed with the whole Canada situation just because it's like, I just feel like that could have been avoided. I feel like that could have been something else could have had could have some type of agreement or something could have came down with the whole with Canada, man. For them to be our allies for so long, and excuse me, for it to get to a point where to see Canada pretty much just rebel against the U.S. and protested against the U.S. Uh, from the beginning, like of the year, it was disappointing. I was happy for Canada, like, hey, do your thing, like stand up for yourself. But I was just disappointed that it took that turn, I guess. But like I keep saying, I do believe at the end of the day there is light at the end of the tunnel. So, you know, I will be reporting all this for sure. I will be keeping up as far as with politics. Obviously, I'm gonna still continue to do. I'm gonna do my travel, add more travel videos in there. But this has just been very important, very important. It's a lot of people who watch my channel, who especially the younger ones around my age, who just they may not pay attention to this, but they're gonna watch it because I'm reacting to it. They're gonna pay attention, and it's gonna give them that awareness. So with that being said, everybody enjoy your day, and definitely looking forward to the comments. I'll be back with more soon. If you enjoy this video, definitely don't hesitate to hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell, and yeah, let me know what you guys think about what's going on. Much love, yeah.